There's another thing I never quite understood, and that was why somebody would buy a pair of boots like these and then put them in the closet to be worn only when absolutely necessary and as seldom as possible. That makes no sense to me. These are really great boots, and as I just said, amazingly comfortable. So I want to wear them not as seldom as possible, but as often as possible. So here's what I do. Number one, I wear these hip boots when it's raining. No exceptions. If it's raining, I'm wearing these boots. It doesn't matter whether it's a light drizzle or a heavy downpour. If it's raining, the boots are on. And if I have to run any errands on those days while it's raining, I wear the boots there too. For instance, just last week it was raining, and in the afternoon I had to go to the bank to make a deposit. Then I had to go to the post office, and then I had to go to the drugstore to get some prescriptions. Then I had to go to Staples to get some ink and some paper. And finally I went to the diner to get some lunch. And all that time it was drizzling lightly. And of course I had the hip boots on. When I came out of the diner, however, it was raining fairly hard. But my legs didn't get wet and my feet didn't get wet because I was wearing these great boots. Another time, about a month ago, I also had to go to those same places, or some of those same places. I went to the bank and the post office and the drugstore, and then later in the day it was still raining and I had to do some holiday shopping. So I went to one of the large local suburban shopping malls. As I walked in the door of the mall, a man came up behind me and said, "Excuse me, sir." When I turned around to see what he wanted, he said, "I just wanted to tell you, those boots that you're wearing, they're really awesome." Well, I thanked him for that and headed into the mall. I was in the mall about an hour and a half. I walked around all three levels. There were a lot of people in there. I went into several stores. I made several purchases. And all during that time, I didn't see anyone that seemed to be paying the slightest attention to what I was wearing. Nobody said anything. Nobody stared. Nobody even seemed to notice. And that was great. It was great because it really shouldn't make any difference. Some people like to wear a pair of black classic Chuck Taylor high tops. Other people like to wear clunky work boots. Still others like to wear the latest bright neon running shoes. Others, the latest style of Nike high-top basketball shoes. And for me, I like to wear these hip boots. And that's how it should be. So that was actually a very pleasant, enjoyable shopping trip. And of course, when it was time to go out into the parking lot in the rain, my legs and feet stayed nice and dry because of the hip boots, and the people with those sneakers couldn't say the same thing. At the end of my shopping, I went into a restaurant and had dinner. At the end of the dinner experience, the waitress said to me, wished me a good evening, and said, "Be careful out there in that wet weather." And I thanked her for the concern. And then she said, "Well, at least you've got the right kind of boots for it." I said, "That's right." And then she said how much she loved my boots. She said they thought they were really awesome looking boots, and she especially liked the fact that they were so tall that they kept my legs as well as my feet nice and dry in the rain. My answer to that only was, that's why I'm wearing them. Number 2, I always wear these hip boots when it's snowing. It doesn't matter whether it's a little snow shower or a great big blizzard. If it's snowing, the hip boots are on. After the snow is over, I wear the hip boots when I'm shoveling the snow, or when I'm snow blowing, or when I'm dusting the snow off the car. I also usually wear the boots if there's any snow remaining, either on the pavement or on the ground, until it's completely clear again.